Pronounce your name for me again.
ONE Judge, madam.
Does anybody call you anything for short?
Obi.
Obi.
Like Star Wars, Obi-Wan Kenobi.
Would you mind, because I'm going to be referring to you frequently, they call you Obi?
No problem. Yes, ma'am.
Okay. You were hired as a caregiver by the defendant to work a certain number of hours for him a day.
Yes.
How did you find the job?
Through Craigslist.
And was this the first time you had advertised on Craigslist for a caregiver?
Yes, Your Honor.
How long have you required a caregiver?
Almost 15 years.
So you've had caregivers before?
Yes, Your Honor.
And where have you gotten them from before?
Newspapers.
Okay. Now, your lawsuit succinctly is, stop shaking your head, that Mr. Curran refused to sign the timesheets for you that allowed you to be paid because the state supplies Mr. Curran with a caregiver for a certain number of hours a day. I assume that that's correct.
Yes, Your Honor.
That they pay. And how many hours a day do they provide for?
Between 10 and 20 hours.
10 to 20 hours a day?
Yes.
And how much do they pay an hour?
$11.50.
And how many hours a day were you hired for, sir?
I was hired to work 20 hours a week.
So a mere fraction of what he needed.
Yes.
When did you start working?
Started working January 11th
Of 2014?
of 2014. However, according to my employer, I initially began on the 16th because I was shadowing during training.
Shadowing another caregiver?
Right.
Okay, so you actually started on the 16th.
Who was quitting on the 16th, yes.
And this is somebody that you had had for a period of time, sir?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Anyway, cutting to the chase, you were never paid any money from January 16th until the day you left, which was on what date?
April 3rd.
And from January 16th till April 3rd, you worked for Mr. Curran on a weekly basis?
Daily basis.
Daily basis.
Daily basis, Monday to Sunday.
Okay. And you were paid nothing?
Nothing.
And you have your timesheets?
Correct.
And how many hours and what is the sum that you claim to be owed by Mr. Curran?
275 hours documented right here during a period of work with him.
At $11 an hour?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Now, you stopped working because you weren't getting paid.
It's more to it, but, madam.
When you left in April, what was the reason of your departure?
I've worked since January
and you
to
weren't
April.
Paid.
I was told by his supervisor that that was a standard process. It takes anywhere between 2 to 2 months,
Listen to me.
madam.
I understand, so I'm going to consolidate it a little bit. You had to be fingerprinted and you had to have a background check in order to be state paid, right? That paperwork, according to you, you filled out and you were awaiting payment.
While working.
While working.
Correct.
Because you thought there was no issue.
Okay.
Right? So you work until April and the money is not forthcoming.
Okay.
Am I correct?
Yes, correct.
All right. Is that the reason you left in April?
It was more than that.
Well, then that's what I'm waiting for. I don't want to hear about that. Tell me about the more than that.
I definitely quit because I wasn't getting paid, 1. 2, I couldn't take any more verbal abuse and physical from this individual.
Okay, so you weren't getting along in April.
I wasn't getting along with him.
Okay, and then, according to you, at some point later, you went back to get him to sign your timesheets, which he refused to sign, and according to you, he ran over your foot with his wheelchair.
Yes, ma'am, and I have medical paper and photos as well.
And he ran over your foot with his wheelchair, and your foot was in a cast, was placed in a cast. Okay, so there are 2 parts of your lawsuit. And Mr. Curran says a couple of things, because he's got a counterclaim, and he says, well, he saw you stealing food from his refrigerator with his camera and eating it, and that he made certain... I'm not interested in that, actually. I think that's a lot of nonsense. And then he says that he made loans to you during the time that you were employed by him for food and gas money. Anything other than food and gas money?
Yes, ma'am.
What else?
The $75 that he needed to have his life scan done.
What is that? You mean for his...
FBI background.
Okay. What else?
That's it, ma'am.
Okay. Now I have a couple of questions for you, Mr. Curran. It's clear to me that you have a person who is working for you for approximately 4 or 5 hours a day, 20 hours a week, and you would have the same kind of care taken before during the day, but you are entitled, according to you, to 10 to 20 hours a day worth of care, correct?
Yes, ma'am.